So you hit home, whatever number you want, and then enter, and then visitor, whatever number you want, and then enter. You want me to hit the horn? Did you get the code? You're welcome. You want me to put 2017 for the time as well, up top?
Yeah.
No, Connor, get out of there.
I got all the fails, the time, everything. Don't hit any buttons. We're good.
they're looking on point. I mailed them the other day. Like, I kept trying to check in. They kept saying like, oh yeah, I'll be there like anytime now. And I'm like, I'm here whenever you're ready. And then eventually they were like, yeah. Eventually they were like, just mail it to us. I just did a couple of days after they paid me. So
There's a retirement party on Monday, so I'll make sure to get it.
gotcha. Yeah,
Thanks
you
for
as
being
well.
here.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Rob.
Good morning, and welcome to AIM Academy and the commencement for the class of 2017. I am Matthew Naylor, and it is truly my honor to be here with each and every one of you today. It is also my great pleasure to serve as the chairman of the AIM Academy Board of Trustees. I would like to extend a warm welcome and a very special welcome to our commencement speaker, Larry Banks. I'd like to thank our board members and board of trustee members that are here with us today for this incredible celebration and this amazing commencement. I'd also like to thank our faculty, our staff, for your time, your effort, and your energy. You are a big, big part of our secret recipe for success here at AIM. The commitment and passion you work with each and every day is one of the many reasons for the success that we see before us in the class of 2017. The class of 2017 that stands before us today is a true testament to the power of hard work and determination. This class is also a testament to the commitment of the parents, grandparents, friends, and family members that are here with us today. I'd like to thank the whole entire AIM community for helping these 15 wonderful students to move on from AIM to colleges all across the country. To all the graduates, I know from my own personal journey, it has not always been easy. Today's a very special day. It's a wonderful moment in your life. It is a true celebration. You may be probably feeling many different emotions: proud, happy, excited, and you may have some fear or uncertainty in what the future may hold for you. AIM has given you the tools and confidence not only for this next chapter of your life at college, but for well beyond. Be proud of your learning difference. They are a badge of honor. They have instilled in you the three most important elements of success. You are all truly resilient. When you get pushed down, you know how to get yourself back up. You are all truly resourceful. You know how to think outside of the box. You know how to be innovative and creative. You have these tools because of your learning difference. You are all truly relentless, true grit. You never give up. And again, you have these skills because of your learning difference. Continue to be true to yourself. Continue to live your dreams, pursue your goals, and live with happiness in your heart. I am so proud of each and every one of you. Congratulations. As we prepare to celebrate your accomplishments and the next steps after AIM, I would like to invite up AIM's Executive Director, Pat Roberts, to share our thanks and appreciation for all the members of the AIM community. Graduates, congratulations once again.
I want to welcome all of you. This is a very, very exciting day for all of us at AIM. And as part of the celebration, one of our traditions is to welcome the talent that we have before you. So I'm going to take a moment and allow you to enjoy the talents of our students under the direction of Mrs. Emily Poles. Thank you, Mrs. Bowles and our choir members. It's very inspirational. So today, as part of our welcome, we really want to thank all of you here in the audience today. As I look out and look into your eyes, that's really the hardest part for me personally, because I can see the pride in the eyes of the parents and the grandparents. And if I can get through that, I'll be good. So let me just start with some really, really important thank yous. First of all, if you're in this room, you have incredible commitment to education and learning. And that's really what the world needs right now. I think you'll all agree. It's very, very important that we all empower our students to be the next leaders through education. And we're very, very excited to be part of that journey with you. As we've grown, our school population has grown, and in January, we now can call this beautiful campus our own, as we purchase the property, but more importantly, we call it home. And that's what we hope you will always think about it as you relate to your future. Think about it as your home always. And you heard from Mr. Matt Naylor. He's an incredible leader of our Board of Trustees. He's focused and driven, just like every other member of our Board of Trustees. And I want to echo what Matt said and thank the Board of Trustees. Their commitment is unwavering. And I see a few in the audience, so if you'll please stand. I see Bryna. Can you stand, please? And I don't know. But I don't think you can truly understand how much we depend on the Board of Trustees as we build this program. So that's a special thank you to Matt for his leadership, and to Bryna and the other members of our AIM Board of Trustees. So now I want to talk to the parents, the friends, everyone who supported these students here today. We understand your journey. We understand everything you represent and what you've done to get them to this point. And I promise you, someday, your students will too. And many of them already appreciate that. And as I look out in the audience, I really must recognize also the students and the families that came before you. And I see so many alumni. So I'm going to ask all the alumni, parents, and students to stand as well. So they have embraced that concept of home, and we welcome them today. And thank you for all of your support, parents as well. So you are part of a very, very unique group of individuals. As some of the parents in the senior class said, please don't think you'll never see me again. That's the furthest from our thinking. We need each other, and we're here to support this incredible class of 2017 and all the students that are in the audience from our alumni. So we're very thankful for your commitment and your dedication and everything you've done as a team, and that's very, very important to us. And Matt talked about our faculty and staff, but I would really be remiss if I didn't add additional comment on that. We talked to all these incredible seniors, and almost everyone to a person talks about the impact of a teacher or 10. And I think that this support that our faculty and staff give our graduates and our students is unbelievable. They work very hard. And so will all the faculty and staff of AIM Academy please stand to be recognized. And so whether you are parents and families and friends of students we've had since 4th grade, 6th grade, 9th grade, or more recently than that, you will always be part of this incredible group of individuals. They are unstoppable, and quite frankly, all of you sitting behind them are unstoppable. And for that, we thank you very much. So as we turn the program over to some amazing remarks, I just want to thank you again, welcome you, and thank you for being part of this incredible community. And it is my pleasure now to introduce Chris Herman, head of Upper School.
Good morning. It is my honor to introduce our 2017 commencement speaker, Larry Banks. I first met Larry in 2002 as a student in his film lighting class at Long Island University. His natural ability to connect with students and his passion and master of his craft, directing, lighting, and photography for film, made him a very popular professor at the university, where he chairs the Media Arts Department. A cinematographer and founder and director of Namaste Productions in New York City, Larry has worked alongside many directors including Spike Lee, Forrest Whitaker, Steve Horn. But it wasn't until recently that I learned that Larry was among the many successful individuals out there with dyslexia. A friend forwarded me a video of Larry passionately speaking about the links between dyslexia, creativity, and talent. The links that lie beneath most of what we do here at AIM. So Larry is a perfect example of an individual who has used his learning difference to discover his talents. As chairman of the board of Headstrong Nation, he is also committed to transitioning young adults with dyslexia from college into the workforce. So Larry could have driven down this morning and then zipped right back up to New York after speaking. However, he chose to come for a 2.5-day visit to AIM so that he could specifically interact with the children and the teachers in every grade. It has been an honor to have him on campus, and it is my pleasure to welcome Larry Banks to the podium as the commencement speaker for AIM Academy's class of 2017.
Good morning. First of all, I'd like to thank Chris Herman for inviting me and to be a part of this wonderful occasion. I'd like to thank the founders, Pat and Nancy and Matt Naylor, for their incredible accomplishment in putting all of this together. I thank the Board of Trustees, and I want to say one thing. You have an awesome school. Yesterday to kind of go through the school. As Chris said, he put me through classes from early morning all the way up to school closed. It was amazing. And this is a momentous occasion. And I want to particularly thank the friends and the families that have supported these young people as they've made their journey through school. For many of us, this is a tricky journey. For most of us, it is fraught with difficulty and change. And there's many things that we have to adapt to be able to make this happen. It is through your compassion and your support that they're able to be here today. So I want to put a very special thanks to the friends and family of these graduating students. I'm going to share a little bit of history. You've heard a little bit about where I come from, and some of the things I've done. I'm going to do it the way that I work, because my brain is different, so I'm going to do this going backwards. That's kind of the way in which I think. So for the past 17 years, I've been a professor at Long Island University. I've mentored and guided young people in the art of digital filmmaking and producing. Before that, I was a producer and director of documentaries and PSAs and narrative shorts. Before that, I was a cinematographer that did feature films such as Juice and Strapped and Fly By Night and Substitute 2. I've shot multiple shorts on people like John Henry Clark, Miles Davis, Ray Charles, music videos and commercials, more than I can actually keep track of, so we won't go into them. Before that, I was a gaffer, which is a chief lighting technician in the film business. Before that, I was a still photographer, learning the basics of film and how it worked. Most people would say that my life has been relatively successful. But it wasn't always that way. I am dyslexic, and I am honored to be among that group. That group with such people as Richard Branson, entrepreneur, Steven Spielberg, filmmaker, Whoopi Goldberg, performer, Anne Rice, writer, Jack Horner, paleontologist, Dean Kamen, inventor, Octavia Butler, writer, Jennifer Anderson, actress, Steve Walker, entrepreneur, Guy Ritchie, director, John Chambers, CEO of Cisco Systems. The illustrious number of people, all with dyslexia. Our neurodiversity is our strength. This gives us uncanny abilities, some that you don't even recognize yet. Yes, they come with some shortcomings. And many of us have suffered through very hard times, particularly those of us that didn't go to a school like this. For me, the early part of my education was a nightmare. I worked twice as hard as anyone else in my class, and I never saw an A except in the gym until I got into college. Not once. Before we can go forward, it is important that we look at our history and look at what we've come from. We must look at how we're going to move forward. So at a certain point in my life, some things changed, and they were a shock to me. When I got to college, I decided I was majoring in mass media, and I took on a secondary major. I don't know why. I took on a secondary major in secondary ed. At our school at the time, every semester, they would post the grades next to your student ID number in the bulletin boards in the student center. All I did was watch my mailbox to see if I got a letter that said I had failed something, and if I didn't get a letter that said I was failed something, I was happy. All's good. I had been there for 2 semesters, and a friend of mine came up to me and said, "By the way, congratulations." I said, "What for?" He said, "You're on the dean's list." Nah. Couldn't be. Nah. He said, no, for real, you're on the dean's list. So I went over to the student center, and sure enough, I had aced the courses I had taken in the past 3 semesters. It was an absolute shock to me. Shortly after that, one of the professors contacted me and he wanted me to be a TA in his class. And I said, oh, wow, an opportunity to step up. And I said, okay, that's an honor. So I said I would take that on. And so he would give a lecture for a 60-student class, and then I would get a small section of about 12 students, do a workshop with them. But then I had to read and correct their papers and grade papers. I said, oh no, that's going to be a little tricky. One of the students that was in my group, very bright student, asked me for permission. They said, listen, can I turn this paper in untyped? Now, this is back in the days before computers and before cell phones. You know, so typewriters were the old-fashioned things that everybody was working with. And I said, I'll make you a deal. I said, if you come over and read me your paper and the rest of these papers I've got to get through, I'll let you turn yours in handwritten. Well, it ended up being a great relationship. She turned hers in handwritten, and we sat there and we read through the papers, and I was able to grade the papers and turn them in. Things change. And we don't know how that's going to happen. And it's important for us to begin to acknowledge that even though things can be difficult at times, that there's actually sun at the end of that. There's actually a dawn awaiting. And the things I'd like to talk to you about today, 3 things in particular. Compassion, passion, and grit. And Matt and I didn't confer on this before we talked. These are key things going on here. And I want you to understand them because this is really about you taking a look at these. Compassion, both receiving compassion, allowing people to be compassionate towards you, and being compassionate to others. This is a powerful trait that lines with empathy and understanding. And it will take you far. In my life, my mother was Miss Compassion. She fought for me tooth and nail. She did everything she could, and when there was nothing she could do, she just stood by me. Incredible support. My father too, he was all support for me. He was also dyslexic, undiagnosed at the time, but would teach me anything, would show me anything, would take me anywhere to have the experience and to be able to learn. My father was a bit of an entrepreneur. And my father kind of typifies one of these characteristics, and I'll tell you why. He was born in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, he decided that he was going to come to New York and make it. So he came to New York, he had $20 in his pocket. Most of that had to go for the rent to be in a flop house for a week. And he didn't have a job. And people said to him, how are you going to get a job? He said, how's that going to happen? He said, there are not that many jobs out there. And my father would say, there may not be many jobs out there, but I'm only looking for one. And you can't tell me there's not one job out there. So with his total determination, he would start, I don't know if you know New York, he'd start downtown on Canal Street and started walking uptown on Broadway. And he stopped at every industry along the way, looking for a job. By the second day, he had found a job in the garment district. And that's what got him started. And from then, it just kind of kept going till he owned his own business. He started working for the film world, working in a lighting rental company. He became foreman of one of the largest lighting rental companies in the country. He left them and started his own business. Always looking to grow, always looking to hustle, always looking, he always had another job, another thing going. This is what is true grit. One of the things that I look at when I think about grit, it's great resourcefulness that induces transformation. That's what grit is. It is great resourcefulness that induces transformation. You make things happen by being resourceful, by pushing ahead, and being relentless and resilient. But sometimes it always doesn't work out the way you want it. Sometimes you have to dust yourself off, pick yourself up, and as I say, get back in the game. So, looking forward, you have to know one more thing. For me, the compassion of my mother, the grit of my father, gave me the ability to turn and to look at myself and to say, who am I in this? What are my strengths? What are my abilities? So I can live up to the compassion and the determination that is fostered me here. And that's turning inside and finding your passion. And when you turn inside and find your passion, you get direction. Now I know many of you have an idea of where you're headed, and that's great. Some of you don't, and that's also fine. But look at your strengths, develop your strengths, keep turning inward and finding the ways in which you can express yourself, and it will all become clear. So, in closing here, I'd like to say passion, compassion, and grit. I see great things in front of all of you. This is an incredible school. You guys have incredible talents. I've seen it because I've sat in all the different classes. And I've seen the compassion of the teachers that you have here in this school. And their compassion radiates through you. So they've fed you with their compassion. The teachers have been here with their compassion, and your family has been there with their compassion. They have determined to make sure that you can get to this place, and now you've got to here. So now, with your grit and your passion, looking at yourself, you'll move forward. Society is in great need of your dyslexic mind. We need people to think differently. We need people to look at the problems in a different way. And this is what you are capable of, no matter what field you go into, no matter which way you travel, your difference will add to the world. So, passion, and grit, go forth and change the world. Thank you.
class of 2017. We have a little gift to thank you for spending these days with us. Thank you. So at this time, it's my pleasure to introduce to you our senior speakers. And our first speaker is Andrew Rosenstein. And I think after following Larry's inspirational speech and your words meaning so much, I think it's even more important to recognize what our seniors have to offer, because they are a compassionate group and they are passionate on what they do. And Andrew has been as passionate as it could come when it comes to being your entrepreneur. And so the faculty and staff have selected 2 seniors who represent this class and their collective wisdom, talents, and passion. So it's my pleasure to introduce to you Andrew Rosenstein.
Good morning. For the past 7 years, I have been trying to answer a question that I get asked all the time. Why is AIMS so special? What did they taught you? There are a few things that go into answering this question. Sure, every single teacher, administrator, and staff member is incredible. Well, let's pause there. I'm not just saying that as a, oh sure, yeah, they're good. I wholeheartedly believe that today without them, I would not be where I am today. And I would like to thank a few individuals that have gotten me to this point. Let's start from the beginning. Mr. Martin. There are a few students in my class who are fortunate to have you. One of my favorite memories from my time here was in 6th grade, right after Christmas time. There was a Christmas tree on the side of the road in Manayunk that was trash, and typical Mr. Martin decided it would be a great idea to bring it into the classroom and make it a decoration for the room. Let's just say it was a terrible idea. It got pretty messy. For anyone in this room who has had Mr. Martin as a teacher or knows him as a colleague, this does not surprise me. But seriously, Mr. Martin, your ability to teach not just me, but every one of your students how to think so far out of the box has gotten me much further than just a middle school English class. Thank you. Miss Klein, where are you? The dozens of activities and projects that I've done in your biology class, and then this year in global science, has taught me that science isn't just about chemicals, body parts, and, well, complex words. It can be just about anything in the world. Thank you for opening up my eyes to what science really is. Thank you. Mr. Kurish, I'm not sure if other students have seen this, but there is more to you than just your good looks, your humor, and the only thing your job entails, yelling at girls for wearing yoga pants. I've had learned so much from you over these past 4 years, and it mainly has been from watching the way that you approach solving problems. You're just like me, always wanting to do minimal work to get to the finish line. Thank you. Mr. Korf, where's Mr. Korf? Mr. Korf, congrats, it is official. You have given more homework than any other teacher in history. Aside from that, you have challenged me to do things out of my comfort zone. And I'm now realizing that if I slow down, put some time into whatever the task is in front of me, the outcome will be amazing. 2 years ago, you and I had a conversation that has changed my life and put a lot of perspective on my day-to-day activity. You taught me that even if I want to do as much as possible, I can't fit 26 hours worth of activities into a 24-hour day. Thank you. Mr. Dunn, my classmates and I can all agree that sometimes you're the best person in the world, and sometimes, let's just say, we would try as hard as possible to avoid you during this whole college process. It has been a long journey, And I don't think I'd be this confident and this excited about where I'm going next year if it wasn't for you. Besides talking about college visits, applications, and decisions, you and I have become very close over the past few years. Because of you, I've been able to not just follow sports and business, but rather the most niche parts of government, or even the newest inventions that will do absolutely nothing for me in life. Thank you. Ms. Kubanich, finally, you got engaged. This whole time, I really thought that you and Mr. Kurdish were dating. I've said it many times, but you are the hardest working person I know. You've been there for me every single day for the past 4 years. Think about that. September will come around, and you won't have me or any of my classmates at school. You're welcome. You taught me that there are endless ways to approach and tackle literature. And not gonna lie, I like reading now, just not Shakespeare. We've shared a lot of awesome memories over the past few years, and I know that I can call you, or even just hit you up on Instagram now that I'm an alumni, and just catch up. Thank you. Mr. Herman, thanks. All right, moving on. Seriously, this is a hard one. Mr. Herman, you are one of the greatest people in the world. I mean it. There's not much more sucking up I can do. I really mean what I just said. You are the greatest one of the greatest people in the world. Or as us millennials call someone like you, the GOAT, the greatest of all time. My friends that are here today that don't go to AIM don't understand why I'm so close to my principal. And my classmates and I became very close with you this past year during senior seminar. As my principal, teacher, friend, and mentor, we have had many conversations about just about everything. Over the past 7 years, and if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't even be at AIM anymore, I wouldn't be going to the college of my dreams, and I wouldn't have accomplished all that I have. Last week, I received a personal letter from you that meant the world to me. You told me in that letter that you feel responsible for all of my successes and all of my failures. I'd like to make a promise to you that during the next chapter in my life, there will be more successes than failures. And the successes you will be proud to be responsible for. Thank you. Now, this last person is someone who does not get enough credit. She does a lot of work for the school, Miss Deb. Now, real quick, I'm going to be honest with you and just straightforward, I did decide to park in the front lot today, and there's nothing you can do. Thank you for running the school, making sure that we stay at least a little bit sane, and that every kid and faculty member is safe. Thank you. So, sorry, that wasn't the last one. Ms. Blair and Ms. Roberts. I can never say it enough, but thank you. Something that you should know is that even before enrolling at AIM, Mrs. Blair and I did not get along. Well, that's because she's a Steelers fan. Mrs. Blair and Ms. Roberts had me, Miss Roberts and Mrs. Blair had a very close relationship. You guys are my inspirations. You both are true entrepreneurs. You both have found a problem, came together, and solved the problem by starting the greatest school in the country for students with learning disabilities. Thank you for supporting me and guiding me through every single obstacle I faced, and I know that that you guys will continue to help me for the rest of my life. My classmates and I cannot thank you enough for finding this place that we can call home. Thank you. So let's come back to what I was talking about before. As you can see, I've had some very close relationships with my teachers over the years, and it is those teachers that have educated me and has made AIM so special for me. Our time here has been filled with learning, overcoming fear, finding our passions, traveling, challenges, and a lot more. But most importantly, and I did not take this from their speeches, AIM has taught us how to be resourceful. Before coming to AIM, I was a kid that wasn't so confident. I refused to read out loud, I gave up right away, and almost every night, I would cry myself to sleep with my parents trying to tell me it would be okay, although I never believed them. It's crazy how just 7 years and a lot of money can make such a huge difference. Seriously though, AIM has given me the tools to be successful as not just a student, but as a friend, a person in society, and most important to me, an entrepreneur. If you told me, or anyone who knew me going into 6th grade, that I would publish a book, launch a business, start a nonprofit, speak around the world, and get accepted to Babson College, the response would definitely start with a very long, obnoxious laugh. When talking to many of my classmates, we would agree that AIM has taught us how to be resourceful. My favorite example is my good friend Kyle Petras. Kyle came to AIM in the middle of freshman year, knowing no one, being scared to read and write, and not being sure of what his passion was. He is now an unbelievable filmmaker and photographer, an incredible actor, and a better dresser than anyone in this room. Well, besides Mr. Wolf. Kyle got here by connecting with the right people, introducing himself to the right experience, and embracing success and failures equally. I'm sure Kyle would like to thank Mr. Waitsman, Mrs. Bowles, Miss Yoshida, and of course, Ted Baker. This is the part where I have to thank the people that have gotten me here, my parents. My classmates and I always talk about how lucky we are to have this once-in-a-lifetime education, and if it wasn't for our parents, none of this would be possible. Mom and Dad, thank you for pushing me to go out of my comfort zone and try a different approach to school. Thank you for trusting me and allowing me to accomplish anything that I put my mind to, even if you didn't think it was the best idea. And thank you for the endless love and support for the past 18 years. I'll potentially think about calling you guys when I'm at Boston next year. And to the rest of my family and friends, thank you for being by my side always. I know how annoying my Facebook post may be, but thanks for supporting me in every way possible. So to answer the question that I'm always asked, AIM is special because it is a place where we feel safe, a place where we can accomplish anything, a place where no idea is too big. At AIM, we have learned what it takes to be successful in the real world. So I would like to thank everyone for coming today to celebrate this milestone. Thank you to my classmates for an amazing time here. Thank you for making me realize that no pants are too bright and that I should never be embarrassed to be myself. This day is finally here. Congratulations to the class of 2017.
It is my pleasure to introduce, because when Molly came here in 5th grade, we were still in our Manayunk facility, and I'm not so sure that she ever dreamed, like we did, that it would look like this when she graduated. And Molly learned about herself and her learning style, and she decided that she was going to try going elsewhere for high school. And then she decided that she wanted to come back home. And we welcomed her with open arms, because we can't tell you how proud we are that you're graduating from AIM. And when we walked through the lower school, one of the little girls gave her a little diploma of faith that was one of, like, I think the 4th graders, 3rd or 4th, and she went, "Congratulations." And I said, "Molly, that's exactly what you would have done when you were a little girl." So it's now my pleasure to introduce Molly Cassidy.
Good morning, fellow students, faculty, parents, friends, and families. My name is Molly Cassidy, and I am a proud member of the graduating class of 2017. First off, I would like to say congratulations to my classmates. We did it. Our Our day has come, and we're about to embark on a new journey in our lives. I'm sure everyone in the class of 2017 should feel an immense sense of accomplishment for all of the hard work and effort that got us here. Somehow, we all survived Mr. Herman's freezing classroom, the book Prague without spark notes, and we're still wondering, what is global science? It may not have been easy, but we finally made it. Wow, has time gone by? It's been about 7 years since my first day at AIM, and I can definitely say that was one of the most nerve-wracking experiences of my life. As many people here know, I have been quite shy for most of my life. I don't like putting myself into new situations, and I definitely don't like having to start over. When I arrived on the first day, I was hesitant about even going inside the building, for a few reasons. First, some people here might be able to attest to the fact that the building in Mannion was not the most inviting place. It was old, dark, and sometimes carried a special odor. More importantly, I did not want to start my life all over again. Making new friends and forging relationships with new teachers was a hard thing for me to accept, since I struggled with even approaching someone and talking to them in the first place. But most pressing, I was not confident in myself. Being in a new environment with people I didn't know scared me. I was comfortable in my old school and could not imagine surviving somewhere I was so unsure of. But I did survive. Throughout my middle school years, I began to feel more comfortable with myself and made some lasting friendships. I remember being in Miss Bonchak's class where I met Maddie. We instantly clicked and she became my best friend at AIM. Miss Bonchak herself was always a friendly face, and I came to rely on her greatly. As the years went on, I became increasingly comfortable with more students and teachers. And as I was growing, so were my fellow classmates. Maddie had just saw the love of her life, Justin Bieber. Those were the early days of a love built to last. Sam, years away from his presidency, was still working on growing out of his baby fat. And Andrew hadn't found his calling as an entrepreneur yet. He was still trying to make it as a YouTube sensation. Check out his rendition of Someone Like You if you get a chance. It's beautiful. The AIM community is full of people who want us to succeed. I wish I had known that on my first day of middle school. It certainly would have made me less nervous. After middle school, I decided I was going to leave AIM. I thought that AIM had given me all of the skills to succeed at my public high school without help. But there I struggled a lot academically. I was falling behind in many of my classes, and my self-esteem dwindled as my grades went down. But I was realizing something about myself. What I learned was that I still needed AIM to teach me to advocate for myself in school when I needed help. I came to understand that I was not going to learn those skills from my public high school, and I made the decision to go back to AIM sophomore year. Looking back, I know that this was the best decision I could have made. Coming back to AIM meant returning to a place of comfort. I had established friendships, and I knew many of the teachers. As I progressed through high school, I began to learn not only to speak my mind in class, but also to advocate for myself when I'm struggling. I think most of the students in the class of 2017 know how much I hate public speaking. Talking in front of large groups has never been my forte. This was true in 10th grade when I had to present Romeo and Juliet with Auntie Rosenstein in Miss Kubanch's English class, and it was still the case in 11th grade when I had to perform on stage in the upper school's production of A Midsummer's Night Dream. Then senior year came around, and the seminar teachers had us presenting monthly, in preparation for an even longer presentation that loomed at the end of the year. For someone like me to say it was a bit nerve-wracking is an understatement. Then the senior capstones were here. They had successfully crept up on me. Each senior was required to give a 15 to 20 minute presentation on their personal research. Ross spent hours watching dozens of Eastern European films. Tim was busy taste testing bratwurst and pierogies, and Grace was dissecting the musical notes of German punk rock music. But me, I spent every day of the weeks leading up to it with a pit in my stomach. But again, I did survive. If someone were to tell me a few years ago, actually probably even a few weeks ago, that I'd be standing in front of you all giving a graduation speech, I would have told you you had the wrong girl. The fact that I'm standing here is, well, it warrants some thanks. First, I would like to thank my family for always sticking with me and taking a chance on a school as new as AIM. I would also like to thank the teachers for making me believe I could learn, just differently. Thank you, Ms. Yoshida, for being someone I could go to when I was stressed. To Mr. Schwartz and Mr. Purish for making math seem more manageable. To Mr. Korf for somehow getting me through the senior capstones and presentation. And lastly, Ms. Gubanich for showing me the amazing things you can do with writing and believing in me that I can stand in front of you all and deliver this speech. The faculty at AIM have always had the students' best interest at heart, which I can certainly attest to. Being at AIM has taught me many things, but most importantly, I have learned that surrounding yourself with the right people, people that believe in you, gives you the confidence to achieve in ways you might not have ever imagined. I now know how to advocate for myself and to persevere through hard work. Lastly, I've learned that to break out of your shell, you often have to look inward, and that reflecting on your past is the most helpful way to move forward. To my fellow graduates, I know today will be filled with much reminiscing of the best days of high school. May we use those positive memories to propel us towards even more wondrous futures. Congratulations.
So before we move on to the much anticipated diplomas, we want to be certain that everyone in our audience has a sense of who these 15 incredible young people are that we honor today. Each of them has brought unique talents and interests to AIM, and though we're very proud of them, today is also bittersweet, obviously, as we prepare to say farewell. There are so many gifts and talents among them. They are actors, actresses, athletes, scholars, musicians, artists, leaders, entrepreneurs, public speakers, who would have thought? And we want to make sure you know who they are. Molly Cassidy is the definition of a quiet leader. This is because she is an individual filled with intellect and humility, a combination sometimes lacking in our world. In her time at AIM, Molly has mentored children. She has traveled the world, and she has pushed herself academically time and time again. When I'm speaking with rising freshmen, I often ask them which senior they'd like to fashion themselves in, or which one they admire most, and it's always Molly. They cite her resolve and her modesty. Liam Cochran has a permanent smile on his face, and this is because he is consistently grateful. The gifts he has and the opportunities he has been given are always met with appreciation. Liam basically signed himself up for AIM. He showed up for his own open house, which we don't really allow. And before leaving, he asked me when we could schedule his visit day. So who could argue with that kind of self-advocacy? Liam is inquisitive and creative, and when he sets his mind towards a goal, it happens. There's a good deal of research into the successful traits of students who learn differently, and one needs to look no further than Reed Conlon to see all of them. Reed has persevered on his journey towards full self-awareness, and all of his teachers would agree that he's discovered it. He's a goal setter and a dogged pursuer of those goals. Consider that he started building his resume to get into Villanova 4 years ago, and it's no surprise that he earned that acceptance letter. If you'd ever like a good debate, you should call Jane Eady. She is passionate about politics, about history, and even more so about equity and fairness in the world. This gives her the ability to meet her ideological rivals at the table with respect, a characteristic that I admire quite a bit. Jane is always thinking about the perspectives of others, and like no other, she values diverse ideas. We would all be well served with more Janes in our midst. Tim Giddings came to AIM to find his passion, and he discovered it in the engineering wing with Rob. Tim has been among those pioneering engineers that took our rookie robotics team to the World Championship, and this year he fearlessly led, but from behind. allowing the next tier of great engineers to emerge. And that's Tim. He's a solid, supportive friend to everybody in this class. He's a humble genius with an incredible ability to see a problem and solve it without breaking the sweat. As you can see on the right hand or left, Kendall Hancock is a true artist. Those are her portraits that she did. She's obviously talented, but many don't realize that she's also willing to explore new mediums, work weekends to see her vision come to fruition, and that she works on art even when she doesn't have to. It's because she's invested in her own excellence. This has brought her accolades in the arts and is why she was recently given the U.S. Figure Skating Silver Award. Kendall gets up to skate while the rest of us are sleeping and is often making something beautiful while the rest of us are going back to bed. Sam McCormick is wearing a lot of cords today. And this is because of Sam's innate drive to lead. He has been the student council president, the founding director of Ames chapter of Eye to Eye, the captain of the basketball team, and really a leading voice on all things that go on in our community. Sam has been here since grade school, and his tenacity is what has brought him so many successes. Sam is destined to leave his thumbprint on the world because he finds leadership vacuums and fills them with his integrity. Maddie Morello is above all things kind. She's someone upon whom our community has relied to mentor peers, to rally us at difficult times, and to remind us always that we have a lot for which we should be grateful. Maddie's a tone setter, and she expects nothing less than inclusiveness from everybody around her. So we often call on Maddie to be the reality check to younger peers so they can hear what it means to truly come to terms with who you are and to capitalize on your gifts. It has been amazing to watch Jared Neal evolve at AIM since moving here from Chicago. Next year, he's headed off to pursue a life on the stage, and that is a place where he was born to be. Jared has moved mountains in these last 5 years, but he keeps all of his accomplishments private, never wanting to overshadow anyone else. It is that sense of kindness that defines him, and that sense of genuineness that tells those around him that it's okay with yourself. For many of us, Kyle Petrus is the story of AIM. He's a young man with boundless talent and fortitude who simply needed permission and guidance to unleash it all. Kyle is among the most thoughtful and considerate students we've ever had. In his time here, he's dominated the stage as an actor and a musician, the visual arts as a creator and a designer, in the classroom as a thinker. Kyle is a young man full of empathy and creativity. Emily Rose Barrick is a truly gifted artist headed off next year to develop her creativity and explore her craft. She's a genuine intellectual like Gordon, always ready for a discussion and always there to support her friends. In her art, she's an innovator, and in her community, she is compassionate and considerate. Emily Rose is also one of the most hilarious people I've ever met. Her wit, her wit and her brains make her someone everyone wants to be around. Andrew Rosenstein's vision is his gift to the world. And he has the unique ability to articulate that vision in ways that so few others do. He can talk about his journey in ways that inspire all of us. Others see themselves in Andrew and then strive to achieve things because of his example. His impact on those that follow in his footsteps will be realized here at AIM year after year after year. Andrew is an innovator, he is an author, and he has very big shoes to fill as he moves on to the next chapter of his life. Drew Schaefer is curious, creative, talented, and inconspicuous. His inquisitive nature, coupled with his quiet demeanor, tell us that he's always listening, though behind that quiet manner is a young man with really bold and innovative ideas. He has led our robotics team for years, from championship to championship, and there are dozens of younger students who look up to him for his thoughtful leadership. Drew is simultaneously confident and disinterested in the limelight, always willing to share his wins with his team. It takes a reflective individual to achieve greatness. Ross Schoenberg is one of the most reflective people I've ever met. He is in a constant state of evolution, always asking for feedback, always asking questions, genuinely curious about the perspectives of others. Ross is a truly gifted photographer and filmmaker, and he has been rewarded with acknowledgments from every major youth film festival in our city. And therefore, I see nothing wrong with plugging a screening of his work this Monday night at the Kimmel Center. 6 p.m. Grace Shug is the young woman that we all hope our daughters grow up to be. She's kind, thoughtful, and authentic. Grace sees an obstacle and she faces it. She sees a wall and she perseveres to climb over it. I'm always reminded of our bash 2 years ago, when I heard Grace's voice very clearly for the first time as she sang in the atrium of the main building. And there was this little 3rd or 4th grader standing next to me who then looked at her mom perfectly and said, "I want to sing at the bash next year." Seniors, each of you represent something special for us all. Your journey has been our journey, and our time with you has been inspiring. We will miss you all more than words can express. You leave an incredible legacy from your years at AIM. And it is now my pleasure to call you up for your diplomas for the class of 2017. Molly Cassidy. Liam Cochran. Reed Conlon. Jane Edie. Tim Giddings. Kendall Hancock. Sam McCormick. Maddie Murillo. Jared Neal. Kyle Peterson. Emily Rose Rarick. Andrew Rosenstein. Drew Schaefer. Ross Schomburg. Grace Schultz.
So we'll ask the class of 2017 to rise, face the audience. Thank you. You may be seated. We're very proud. Thank you. Oh, wait, we forgot one very important point. Please stand, face the audience, Mrs. Blair.
And you may now turn your tassels to the left. I don't think that we need to say that there's not a student as senior here that we are so proud of. And as I said to you yesterday, please always call this your home. Please come back and see us. Please come back and share your wisdom of what worked in college and going on to your next classmates behind you. So now is our chance to, we've had 3 awards in the history of AIM. This is our 6th graduation. So it's pretty exciting that we started out in 2012 and now with this class of 2017. So our very first year we started what we call the Marvins Award. And the Marvins, we talk about this in the life of every organization. There comes a turning point that takes an amazing idea, a passionate commitment as well to the desire to make a difference. In business, they call this the tipping point or the flywheel, and I will apologize in advance if I mispronounce this word, but at AIM we call it Beshert. I think I got that right, but I'm not sure. But it means meant to be or destiny. And the 2 gentlemen who taught us this word was Marvin Demchek and Marvin Alloy. And they were co-founding board members who started AIM. And when they came, they took our humble goal of starting a school for really bright children who learn differently and helped us create a board that was just phenomenal. And these 2 gentlemen, they always believed in our vision. There was never a question of their belief. They knew that the research to practice school was a necessity. They knew that it needed to be cutting edge, and they knew it needed to provide extraordinary opportunities for children who learn differently. Not only did they provide their leadership and determination commitment to this, but they also formed the framework for the financial stability of AIM. And although they no longer are with us, and they've both passed away, to us the Marvins Award is that component of leadership, perseverance, and grit. And in fact, I texted one of the Marvins' daughters this morning to say that we were giving out the award, the Marvins Award, and that I was thinking of her dad and her father-in-law, because that school that was in Manayunk, that wasn't our goal to stay there. It was to grow, and they helped us do that. So in honor of this power of human spirit, which we so believe in that grit and all the compassion and passion, we decided to do a Marvins Award to select a student who embodies those same attributes that the Marvins did: respect, citizenship, and perseverance. And this year's Marvins Award recipient was voted on by the faculty of the upper school, and he's much beloved here at AIM. In just a few years, he's made his mark in the school behind the camera, through music, and at center stage. His determination in the classroom provided him the opportunity to discover his deep passion to learn and in the arts. And it is our honor and pleasure to present the Marvins Award to Mr. Kyle Petrie.
So just like Marvin Demchek and Marvin Alloy, for whom the Marvins Award is named, we have another gentleman, also passed away sadly, who was very inspirational and really formed a lot of the foundation of what AIM's all about. We are pleased this year to talk about the Lou Uchitel Spirit Award. Lou was incredible. He believed in school spirit to the core. From the moment he visited our school, I think he was watching Nancy and I pledge the furniture or something like that. Lou recognized the importance of making sure we were always proud of our school and making sure it was an environment where everyone belonged. And he was committed to making this possible. He even provided the AIM logo in the center of our turf field. That's how important it was to him. And he wanted all AIM students to wear their AIM gear with pride in their AIM uniforms. And he did everything he could to foster this pride. And he wanted the students to be proud of AIM and always be proud of their home, their school. And Lou, who single-handedly created our school endowment because of his belief in securing this future for many, many students to come, wanted us to provide many benefits for the students, and he wanted everyone to feel included. He would have loved our theme for the year, one school, one community, home. Lou Uchitel was also a firm believer in the power of persistence. He knew that hard work and commitment were the keys to success. And he had a deep personal commitment to students who learn differently and recognize the spirit within each of them. And in memory of Lou, AIM Academy created the Lou Uchitel Spirit Award. It is given to an AIM senior who demonstrates strength of character, strength of commitment to others, school spirit, and a passion for serving the greater community. This year's Lou Uchitel Spirit Award goes to an AIM senior who is passionate about serving the greater community, particularly those with learning differences, and epitomizes the AIM spirit. His confidence and enthusiasm are contagious, and he is a natural leader. It is our honor and pleasure to present the Lou Uchitel Spirit Award to Sam McCormick.
The award to the seniors was created several years ago, and it's the Arts and Creativity Award. Needless to say, since our inception, the arts have always been integrated into our mission since we opened those doors. Learning through the arts not only instills deep connections with academic material, but the arts also provide a critical vehicle for self-expression. Whether it's in painting, drawing, sculpture, music, drama, and video, all of these have enabled our students to explore those very important aspects of themselves, and that might not always be accessible if it was in a traditional environment. We've watched with excitement as our arts have grown this year in this amazing building and have been nurtured and encouraged by the amazing staff in this building that bring out each one of your talents. The Arts and Creativity Award goes to an AIM senior who consistently demonstrates a strong dedication to the arts and a deep understanding for the power and purpose of creativity. This award is given to a student who excels in their craft and plans to use the arts in their future success. This year's Arts Award goes to an individual who's given the freedom to explore her passion for art and visual expression while at AIM. Her dedication to her craft led her to memorialize each one of her classmates and help develop a portfolio that wowed peers and colleges alike. And if you ask her how many colleges that she got into, it is so many she can't remember all the names. So it is our honor and pleasure to present the Arts and Creativity Award to Ms. Kendall Hancock.
and again, sharing the talents of our students with you. Did truly make us smile. And again, another thank you to the A-Sharps. This concludes the commencement for the class of 2017. And we have a number of traditions that we've started along the way, and we'll share a few of those with you now. One, of course, we must throw our caps in the air, and that occurs outside. Just setting the stage for you. It occurs outside in front of the Ames Community Center, and what we'll ask is, as the students leave, and they've all left and are waiting in the lobby, we'll ask families and friends to leave by this side door and just walk around to the front so you can get your pictures of this wonderful event. Another tradition is that at this time we ask all the AIM faculty and staff to take their positions, please. I'll ask the class of 2017 to rise, and I'll ask our trio to